In the bustling city of Harborview, on a sweltering summer night, the echoes of gunfire ring out through the streets. It's July 7th, and the city is gripped by fear as news of a high-profile assassination rocks the community. The victim, Marcus Rodriguez, was a prominent politician known for his controversial stance on crime reform. As chaos erupts in Harborview, tensions run high and trust becomes a rare commodity. With each passing moment, the city edges closer to the brink of collapse, and the hunt for Marcus's killer plunges deeper into a web of deceit and betrayal. The city of Harborview was bustling with life as the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting an orange glow over the skyline. People hurried through the streets, eager to escape the suffocating heat of the day. But amidst the chaos of the city, something sinister lurked in the shadows. It was on the corner of 5th and Main that the discovery was made. A young couple, out for an evening stroll, stumbled upon the grisly scene. At first, they thought it was a discarded mannequin lying on the pavement. But as they drew closer, the truth became undeniable. Marcus Rodriguez, a man whose face had graced the front pages of newspapers and the screens of televisions across the city, lay lifeless in a pool of his own blood. His once immaculate suit was now stained crimson, and his eyes stared blankly into the night sky. The couple's screams echoed through the deserted streets, alerting nearby residents to the horror that had unfolded. Within minutes, a crowd had gathered around the scene, their murmurs of shock and disbelief filling the air. Word spread like wildfire, reaching the ears of law enforcement officials who arrived on the scene in record time. Detective Sarah Montgomery, a seasoned investigator with a reputation for solving the toughest cases, took charge of the investigation. As she surveyed the scene, Sarah's keen eye picked up on subtle details that others might have missed. The positioning of Marcus's body, the trajectory of the bullet, the absence of any signs of struggle, all pointed to one chilling conclusion. This was no random act of violence. The city of Harborview held its breath as news of Marcus's death spread like wildfire. Speculation ran rampant as people tried to make sense of the senseless crime. Was it a political assassination, a personal vendetta, or something even darker? But amidst the chaos and confusion, one thing was clear. Harborview would never be the same again. As night fell over the city, a shadow of fear descended, shrouding its streets in darkness. And so began the hunt for Marcus Rodriguez's killer, a journey that would lead down twisted alleys and through murky waters, uncovering secrets that some would kill to keep hidden. As Detective Sarah Montgomery delved deeper into the investigation, she soon realized that Marcus's murder was just the beginning of a much larger conspiracy. And as she peeled back the layers of deceit, she found herself drawn into a web of corruption and betrayal that threatened to consume everything she held dear. But Sarah was determined to see justice served, no matter the cost. For in the heart of Harborview, where shadows danced and secrets whispered, the truth was the only thing that mattered. And as the city held its breath, waiting for answers, Sarah vowed to stop at nothing until Marcus Rodriguez's killer was brought to justice. In the wake of Marcus Rodriguez's murder, the city of Harborview was thrust into a state of turmoil. Detective Sarah Montgomery, determined to unravel the truth behind the high-profile assassination, wasted no time in launching a full-scale investigation. As dawn broke over the city, Sarah gathered her team of seasoned investigators and forensic experts ready to dive headfirst into the murky waters of the case. Their mission was clear: find Marcus's killer and bring them to justice, no matter where the trail led. The first order of business was to secure the crime scene and gather any evidence that might shed light on the identity of the perpetrator. As Sarah and her team combed through every inch of the area, they discovered a single shell casing hidden beneath a nearby dumpster. It was a crucial piece of evidence, one that would prove instrumental in the investigation. With the help of ballistics experts, Sarah was able to trace the bullet back to its source, a rare and expensive type of ammunition used exclusively by a select group of individuals. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the investigation hit a wall. Despite their best efforts, Sarah and her team were no closer to finding Marcus's killer than they were on the day of his murder. Frustration mounted as leads dried up and witnesses grew scarce. The city's once unwavering faith in law enforcement began to waver, and whispers of corruption and incompetence spread like wildfire through the streets. But Sarah refused to give up. With dogged determination, she continued to pursue every lead, no matter how small or insignificant it seemed. And as she delved deeper into the underbelly of Harborview, she uncovered a web of deceit and betrayal that stretched far beyond the confines of the city. From crooked politicians to ruthless gangsters, Sarah's investigation unearthed secrets that some would kill to keep hidden. But with each revelation came a renewed sense of purpose, driving her ever closer to the truth. And then, just when it seemed like all hope was lost, a breakthrough came. A witness, terrified for their life, came forward with crucial information that would turn the tide of the investigation. With this new lead in hand, Sarah and her team raced against the clock to follow the trail before it went cold. And as they closed in on Marcus Rodriguez's killer, they soon realized that the truth was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. For lurking in the shadows of Harborview was a dark and powerful force, one that would stop at nothing to protect its secrets. And as Sarah's investigation drew to a close, she found herself face to face with the very heart of darkness itself. But Sarah was not alone. With the support of her team and the unwavering determination of a city united in its quest for justice, she would confront the darkness head-on, knowing that the truth would ultimately prevail. And so, as the sun set over the city of Harborview, casting long shadows over its streets, Sarah Montgomery stood tall, a beacon of hope in a world consumed by darkness. For in the end, it was not the shadows that defined us, but the light that we carried within us. As Detective Sarah Montgomery delved deeper into the investigation, she soon realized that Marcus Rodriguez's murder was just the tip of the iceberg. The city of Harborview was a powder keg of secrets and lies, waiting to explode at the slightest provocation. With each new lead, Sarah peeled back another layer of the mystery, revealing a web of deceit and betrayal that stretched far beyond the confines of the city. From corrupt politicians to ruthless gangsters, everyone had something to hide, and Sarah was determined to uncover the truth, no matter where it led. But as she dug deeper, Sarah found herself drawn into a dangerous game of cat and mouse, where the stakes were higher than ever before. With each step she took, she found herself one step closer to the truth, and one step closer to the edge of darkness. And then, just when it seemed like all hope was lost, a breakthrough came. A piece of evidence, hidden in plain sight, pointed Sarah in the direction of a powerful and influential figure with ties to the highest levels of government. With this new lead in hand, Sarah and her team raced against the clock to uncover the truth before it was too late. But as they closed in on their target, they soon realized that they were not alone. Someone was watching their every move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As tensions reached a boiling point, Sarah found herself face to face with the truth and the consequences of her relentless pursuit of justice. For in the heart of Harborview, where shadows danced and secrets whispered, the line between right and wrong blurred until it disappeared altogether. But Sarah was not alone. With the support of her team and the unwavering determination of a city united in its quest for justice, she stood tall against the darkness, knowing that the truth would ultimately prevail. And so, as the sun set over the city of Harborview, casting long shadows over its streets, Sarah Montgomery prepared to confront the darkness head-on, knowing that the fight for justice was far from over. As Detective Sarah Montgomery's investigation into Marcus Rodriguez's murder reaches its climax, the city of Harborview finds itself on the brink of chaos. With tensions running high and the truth hanging in the balance, Sarah and her team race against time to bring the perpetrators to justice before it's too late. The trail of evidence leads Sarah to a secluded warehouse on the outskirts of the city, where she discovers a shocking revelation that threatens to unravel everything she thought she knew. Inside, she finds a clandestine operation run by a powerful criminal syndicate with ties to the highest levels of government. But as Sarah moves in to make her move, she realizes that she's walked into a trap. Surrounded by armed thugs and with nowhere to turn, she knows that her only chance of survival lies in outsmarting her enemies and bringing them to justice once and for all. With adrenaline pumping through her veins, Sarah fights tooth and nail to overcome the odds and emerge victorious. But as the dust settles and the smoke clears, she realizes that the battle is far from over. For lurking in the shadows is a figure from her past, one with a score to settle and a thirst for revenge. As Sarah faces off against her deadliest foe, yet she knows that the fate of Harborview hangs in the balance, and that she alone holds the key to its salvation. With every ounce of strength and determination she possesses, Sarah confronts her adversary head-on, knowing that the outcome of their showdown will determine the future of the city and everyone in it. And as the final blows are exchanged and the dust settles, Sarah emerges victorious, her enemies vanquished and the truth finally revealed. But as she stands amidst the wreckage of her battle, she knows that the fight for justice is far from over. For in the heart of Harborview, where shadows lurk and secrets lie buried, the battle between good and evil rages on, and Detective Sarah Montgomery will stop at nothing to ensure that justice prevails. And so, as the sun rises over the city of Harborview, casting its golden rays over its streets, Sarah stands tall, a symbol of hope and determination in a world consumed by darkness. For in the end, it's not the battles we win that define us, but the strength and courage we show in the face of adversity. As the dust settles on the tumultuous events that have shaken the city of Harborview to its core, Detective Sarah Montgomery stands amidst the wreckage, her heart heavy with the weight of all that has transpired. But amidst the chaos and destruction, there is a glimmer of hope, for justice has been served and the truth has finally been revealed. With the perpetrators of Marcus Rodriguez's murder brought to justice and the criminal syndicate dismantled, the city begins to heal. Slowly but surely, life returns to normal as the people of Harborview rebuild and reclaim their sense of security. But for Sarah, the battle is far from over. As she reflects on the events that have unfolded, she knows that there are still those out there who would seek to sow chaos and destruction in the name of power and greed. And so, she redoubles her efforts to protect the city she loves, knowing that the fight for justice is a never-ending one. With each new day comes new challenges, but Sarah faces them head-on, armed with the knowledge that she is not alone. For she knows that as long as there are those willing to stand up for what is right, the forces of darkness will never prevail. And so, as the sun sets over the city of Harborview, casting its warm glow over its streets, Sarah stands tall, a beacon of hope and inspiration to all who know her. For in the end, it's not the battles we win that define us, but the courage and determination we show in the face of adversity. And as the city of Harborview looks to the future with renewed optimism and resolve, Sarah Montgomery continues her tireless crusade for justice, knowing that her work is far from over, but that with each victory, the light shines a little brighter in the darkness.